Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast. It's Pro Wrestling Weekly. Just another short video for you. Obviously, historic moment coming up next Monday. John Cena's final appearance on Raw before he moves on to Survivor Series and then on to Saturday night's main event. Rounding out an absolutely stellar career, but it's fitting that next week, Madison Square Garden, some say the birthplace, the home of WWF, WWE, where it all really started. The history there and that building for WWE and for pro wrestling stuff. Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, all the greats, MSG, enshrined in wrestling history. And fitting that John Cena's final appearance on Raw should be in the historic Madison Square Garden. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know. Are we beginning to see green shoots in relation to this farewell tour? Are we beginning to see now kind of what we expected all along? That each of these dates would be historic in certain ways and at a certain level fitting of John Cena and the career that he has had. So Raw should be really good this week coming up, or next week. I look back on the history there. He's made 547 appearances on the weekly TV events, so either Raw or SmackDown. And I think it works out at two-thirds Raw, one-third SmackDown. I thought it might be a little bit more even, but mainly his appearances have been on Raw. I also noticed as well in the all-time appearances on Raw, he's fifth in the list, which I was surprised at. I think Randy Orton tops the list for appearances on Raw, but he's fifth in the list on all-time appearances on Raw. I think he's behind Randy Orton as top of the list, and I think Triple H is in there as well. So, but I was surprised at that because I thought he might be up there. But we do know he had spent a large portion of his career also on SmackDown and stuff. But what do you make of this Monday night? Obviously, last Monday could just gone in Boston and picking up the IC belt and being crowned the Grand Slam champion, winning it against Dominic Mysterio and all, really set the bar in Boston and all that kind of stuff. Like, again, historic. This is how it should be. So many layers to this in relation to his career and how it has gone and stuff like that. And next week feels the same as well. The one thing people have been talking about has been this 16-man tournament and how are we going to arrive at John Cena's final opponent. And the lads were talking on the show last night. Go check it out. We had a great show last night with the panel. One of them that they made, I think Dave made the point as well, that maybe Sheamus should be the last opponent. And that match, maybe John Cena should lose the IC belt to Sheamus, crowning another Grand Slam champion on the way here and doing the job. And that sounds like something I could buy into. I did talk about Jericho and Edge and Miz and stuff like that and all. But imagine in the space of 3 weeks we could crown 2 Grand Slam champions and get them done. That would seem pretty cool. And we know Sheamus has had this history with John Cena and has also had a stellar career in WWE, and it would seem fitting as well that Sheamus becomes a Grand Slam champion as well. So let us know your thoughts on that. Who do you think it should be? Some people are leaning towards the Joe Hendrys and the Gunters of this world. Some people are leaning more towards people who have a legacy and a history and an impact on John Cena's career. Obviously, a lot of the guys who impacted on his career, no longer wrestle. They're retired for one reason or another, so it's hard to pick out the Kurt Angles and the Undertakers and the Triple H's and the Shawn Michaels of this world, because obviously with John Cena having such a long career, 20 odd years now at this stage, it's hard to think that all those guys that forged his career going along are now still available. I mean, the grouping now is quite tight. So I did say on the original video that I thought they could do a much better job on the farewell tour, but I'm beginning to see, a little bit of fixing up. I said it last night in the show, a small bit of fixing up in relation to this farewell tour, and I think it's really, really important that they give us memorable moments on this farewell tour, this farewell year, because often sometimes, you're remembered for what you just shortly left behind and stuff like that. But with John Cena, there's such a legacy in there, such moments and stuff like that and all, And I think as part of the show next week, we'll cover some of John Cena's top moments on Raw and stuff like that. And we'll get in puffing the guys and all that kind of stuff. It's only fitting that the show's over the next number of weeks. Delve into John Cena and the career that he had and stuff like that. And with it being his last Raw at Madison Square Garden and being so historic and stuff like that, it's fitting that we look at that. Actually, looking at the list here now, John Cena's fifth with 382 appearances on Raw, which means I think he had something like 164 appearances on SmackDown. Don't quote me, I think it's 547. altogether. Kane, funny enough, Randy Orton is top with 457. Kane is second. Jericho is third. Triple H is fourth. And John Cena is fifth. And right behind him is The Miz in sixth, and then Kofi Kingston. So it's interesting when we spoke about maybe The Miz should be in there. Triple H not available. We don't know whether Jericho's going to be available or not contractually. Kane isn't at it anymore, and Randy Orton he is faced. So like The Miz is the next one down, and that's why we were talking about The Miz and the history that The Miz has had with John Cena. Absolutely huge as well. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Who should be the last opponent for John Cena? What side are you on? Are you on the legacy, historical, career impacting side? Or are you on the fresh face, newer, give the push, pass the torch kind of thing? Do you feel that's still a thing in 2025? It was a debatable point on the show last night as well. But we'll roll on. 3 dates left. We got Raw next week. That brings out the whole TV thing. Then after that we have what happens at Survivor Series, and then we roll on to the final date that we will be doing a watch along Saturday night's main event, of course, to bring the curtain down on John Cena's memorable, historic career. If you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button and drop a like on the video. Let us know your thoughts. Getting real close now to the end of John Cena's career. Cheers, folks.